For a character to become a round character or the major character, these minor characters also contribute. The financial expert actually tells us the story of rise and fall of Margaya. Margaya is the protagonist, you can say. The second highest civilian award, and Padma Bhushan is the third highest civilian award, so that also he has won. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Let us start our journey to Financial Expert, 3rd Sem B.B.A. So we shall be understanding the elements of novel pertaining to the financial expert. This is the name of the novel. We are going to corner down the elements of novel related to the financial expert. Okay. So then we'll move on to know about the author. Okay, we'll know what are the awards won by him, when he was born. It's just a short introduction just for you to understand about the novel. Okay, so the knowledge of author helps you to have a better understanding of the novel. Okay, so after that we are going to understand what is character sketching. Okay, why should we consider this character sketching? Why should we do this character sketching? We are going to understand. Later on, we'll then move on to this what are the points that we have to consider while we have to sketch a character. Okay. Then at last, which are the characters in the financial expert? I'm just going to introduce you to the characters, but character sketching and all, we'll do it little later. Okay. I'll just introduce you to the characters in the end. Fine. Let us begin our session today. Okay. The first thing what we have to understand are the elements of the novel pertaining to the financial expert. The first element what we understood in our previous session was the character. The most important aspect in a novel is a character. Okay, so just to give you examples, I have written two characters here. Other than this, there are so many characters which you will be understanding in the last slide of today's module. Okay, so here I have just given Margaya and Balu. There are so many other characters I said. Okay, so these characters usually we call them as major characters and minor characters. We can categorize them into major as well as minor characters. Okay, so here let me tell you, let me just brief you what is a character first. Okay, we already know what is a character. As I said in the previous session, it is animate or inanimate. It can be a human being or it can be animal also sometimes. Okay, in few of the plays of Shakespeare, we can see supernatural powers also are given the status of a character. Okay, they also have a role to play in the plays. Okay, but here in this novel we have major characters as well as minor characters. Okay, so I mean to say these major characters can also be called as round characters. Minor characters can also be called as flat characters. Okay, so the round characters and flat characters. Okay, so by the word this round character, I mean to say, so I'll just make a note of it, this round character, which are the ones we call as round characters. Okay, so round characters are those that are seen too much in the novel. Okay, they have a major role to play in the novel. So these will have a major role to play in the novel. Okay, so let me just give you the difference and go on. Okay, so when we come to this flat character, this will have very minor role to play. Okay, very minor role to play in the novel. Okay, but still they will have their influence on the major role, that is the round characters in the novel. For a character to become a round character or the major character, these minor characters also contribute. Okay, so in this novel what we see, this financial expert, Margaya is a major character. Okay, he is there the whole novel. He is there throughout the novel. He is there. Actually, the whole story revolves around him. Okay, around Margaya and his family. Margaya, his wife Meenakshi, and Balu, their son. Okay, so Margaya is a round character. Okay, then what else do we know about characters? So round characters, as I said, they have some development as the novel progresses. Round characters, they have some development. Okay, they undergo a lot of changes in them. Okay, so they undergo lot of changes in them, okay, in their character, you can say. In the beginning, Margaya actually was just a like he was a government, like he was sitting out of near the tree. He was sitting near the tree and he used to help people to get some bank procedure done. But later on in the novel, he progresses to become a lender, money lender. Okay, later on in the end, he comes back to the same position where he was. Okay, so there are some changes that he experiences. Okay, out of, like, when he is experiencing these changes, he undergoes lot of mental changes also. Okay, so this his mindset changes and his relationship with the society changes. So there are so many changes that will happen, which we'll be learning about in the coming sessions. Okay, so we are talking about this round and flat characters. So Margaya, as I said, is a round character. He has a major role to play in the novel, and there are many changes that are undergone by him. Whereas here, the minor character or the flat character, you can say not many changes. Okay, not many changes. Even though they change, it is not notable. Okay, they are not very much notable, like it is not a drastic change. Okay, so that is the major difference between the round and the flat character. Okay, actually speaking, this round characters, only they can develop the whole story. Okay, but since they have some relationship with the other characters also, flat characters are added like fillers. Okay, so this is the major difference between the round and the flat characters. Okay, so hope you could understand what is a character and which are the various characters that I'm going to say now. So character, we are going to talk about this round and flat characters when the slide progresses. Okay, so then next, coming to the plot of the financial expert. Okay, coming to this plot, the financial expert actually tells us the story of rise and fall of Margaya. Margaya is the protagonist, you can say. Protagonist means the hero of the novel. Antagonist is the opposite. He is the villain of the novel. Okay, protagonist, hero, antagonist, villain of the novel. Margaya is the protagonist of the novel. So in this novel, the plot is built like this. Margaya being a very helper to the people. He is just a service provider to the people. He grows to become a banker, and then he comes down. Like he experiences some problems because of the minor characters, and it is his downfall that is seen in the second half of the novel. Okay, so this is the plot. So as I said in the earlier session, the plot is the one-liner summary of a novel. Similarly, here also you can see the financial expert tells the story of the rise and fall of Margaya. One-liner summary. So you can understand. So there is a person Margaya. Even if you don't read the novel, you can understand there is a person Margaya. He has come up in life and again he has seen his downfall. So this is about you can understand the summary, isn't it? So this is the plot. Okay. Coming to the next one. Setting. Where does the novel take place? Where does the novel take place? Earlier session, we had spoken about the place where, like, it can be a city, it can be a nation, or it can be some confined place like library, park, all these. So they are also called as settings. Whereas here in this novel, okay, we are talking about those elements of novels that is pertaining to this financial expert. Okay, so this novel takes place in a city called Malgudi. In the city called Malgudi, and this is a fictional town. Fictional, imaginary. Okay, this actually doesn't exist. This is imaginary. This is actually, this name of the town is actually coined by the author himself. Okay, he himself got that name of the town. Okay, so the setting of this town is Malgudi. Fine. The setting of this novel is Malgudi. So such questions will be asked in your 1 mark questions. Okay. So in your exam pattern, as we saw in the earlier session, it was like 15 questions will be given and you have to answer 10. That is what I said. In that main, such questions will be given to you. Okay. So now we'll move on to this style. Style, I spoke about style. When I was speaking about style, it is like the writing style of the author. Okay, so the writing style of the author. So let me just tell you about the writing style of author R.K. Narayan. His words, the word choice that he does is very simple. Okay, so the word choice that he uses is very simple. So what he does is he uses very simple words. Okay, so when we're talking about this style, okay, the style of writing of Narayan is very simple words. Okay, and the sentence is what he uses. The sentence is what he uses. It is always simple sentence. Okay, very short sentence so that the reader can understand it easily. Okay, so it is very the short sentences what he is using in his novel. Okay, so he uses very short sentences, and the greater part of the novel, the most part of the novel actually focuses on telling about Margaya's life. Okay, the greater part of the novel talks about the life of Margaya. Like it always talks about from Margaya's point of view. Okay, the character, like I'll just go back to character and come to the style later. The character can be like it can be the speaker, it can be first person narrative, it can be third person narrative, that I have already told you. Here Margaya is not the speaker. Okay, the major character Margaya is not the speaker, but the whole story is told with Margaya's point of view, how he looks at life. Okay, how he feels, everything. The author has become Margaya and author speaks through Margaya. Okay, so greater part of it speaks about Margaya's life through the perspective of Margaya only. Okay, what does Margaya feel about money lending? What does Margaya think about doing a new business? What does Margaya think about helping the people? So all these, only Margaya's views only are told. Okay, so there is no perspective from Balu's side, there is no perspective from Meenakshi side, nothing. Only Margaya is speaking over here. He is not the speaker, but the novel moves with Margaya's perspective only. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind, and it's a third person narrative that he has used. Okay, it's third person narrative. Okay, so here Margaya is the only character whose interior thoughts are also represented. Means Margaya talking to others is fine in the novel, whereas Margaya's in what he thinks also, like what does he think about when you think about something. Okay, your thoughts are also presented. So that is called as, like, you're presenting your internal thoughts also in the novel. In that way, Margaya, whatever Margaya thinks also, that is presented in the novel through words. Okay, not anybody else's, only Margaya's. Only that he has done. The author has taken up only that. Okay, so that's another thing. And the theme of the novel, as I said, you can say the feelings, the emotions and all what the author expresses, that comes under the theme. I also said this, the theme, this also covers human tendencies. Here, human tendencies are also covered. Okay, so the theme of this novel is lust for money, that greediness to earn money. Okay, that greed to earn money is covered over here in the theme. Okay, so here apart from this, you have many other things. Okay, so what are the ways in which Margaya tries to earn money is the main thing what you have to understand. Everything, whatever work he does, whatever new occupation or whatever business he starts newly, everything runs around, everything is connected to lust for money only. Okay, so he just buys a book from Dr. Pal. Okay, so that tells about the successful marriage or something. So that also again is, he does that, he starts that business for money only. He starts a new business of tooth powder, that also for money only. So whatever he does it for money only. Okay, even when he is helping people, like earlier part of Margaya, like the earlier Margaya, before he could start a new business, whatever he was doing during the beginning of the novel, that also he does it for money only. In his mind, there is only one thing, that is money. Earning money is the only aim he had, or only aim that Margaya had in his life. Okay, so this was all about the elements related to the elements of the novel that is pertaining to the financial expert. Okay, so that was all about this. Hope you've understood this. Okay, let us move further now. We must know about the author. Okay, so author is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy. That is shortly, he is shortly called as, he is R.K. Narayan. And he, as I said, he coined this word Malgudi. It's a fictional town. As I said, this is an imaginary town. And the address also where Margaya lives. Okay, so that is also imaginary. In Malgudi, there is one address that is given. When I'm talking about the novel, I'll tell you all about that. Okay, so that is also fictional only. Okay. So he is, R.K. Narayan is considered as the contemporary of these two authors, that is Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao. These are the other two great authors who were contemporary to R.K. Narayan. Contemporary, they lived in the same age, you can say. Okay, they lived in the same years or something. Okay, so that is called as contemporary. The meaning of contemporary is living in the same age, years. Okay, so Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao, they also were great Indian authors. So they also lived during the time of R.K. Narayan. Then he actually wrote many famous novels like Swami and His Friends, Bachelor of Arts, English Teacher, Financial Expert, The Guide, so many things. Okay, but these are the most famous and most read novels of R.K. Narayan. Okay, so these are the most read novels of R.K. Narayan. Swami and His Friends is actually a wonderful novel. Even if this is also a text prescribed to the school children, parts or the chapters you can say. Okay, so they are prescribed to the smaller, lower grade children. Okay, so out of these, the Guide actually was adapted for the film, but later this the Financial Expert also is adapted for a film. Okay, so this one, the Financial Expert, is adapted as the movie Banker Margaya in Kannada. Okay, Financial Expert is adapted for a movie in Kannada. If at all you have time, if at all you are interested in watching movies, you may just watch the movie Banker Margaya. Okay, I'm writing it again. Make time and watch it. It's really wonderful. You can understand the novel within 3 hours. Okay, so Banker Margaya is the name of the movie. So it's a must watch movie. Okay, so there you will know which are the major characters, which are the minor characters. Okay, so all that you will know, and you will also understand all the whatever we discussed over here, all the elements of novel, whatever we discussed, everything you will be understanding it very easily. So I would like you to watch this movie and understand the novel better. Okay, so this was all about the author, which are the awards, and he has written so much, and of course he has to win few awards, isn't it? So there are few awards and honors that are won by R.K. Narayan. So these are the ones. This is A.C. Benson medal from the Royal Society of Literature, so that he has won, and Padma Vibhushan, this is the second highest civilian award. Okay, it's written here, the second highest civilian award, and Padma Bhushan is the third highest civilian award, so that also he has won. Okay, and he is also honored with this Sahitya Academy fellowship. Okay, this is given in honor of this the India's National Academy. Okay, it is given by India's National Academy of Letters, and this is to honor such great authors. Okay, he has won this award in the year 1994. Okay, so this was about the author and the awards and honors that he has won. So next we have to understand what is the meaning of character sketching, and what are the things we have to consider while sketching a character. This is most important thing. I'll tell you why. You have 4 questions for which you will be given 5 marks each, which is there for 20 marks. There you might be asked to sketch characters like what I say now. It can be major characters, it can be minor characters also. Mostly it will be minor characters, because we expect you to write for 5 marks, we expect you to write maybe 100 to 120 words. Okay, so approximately half or 3/4 of a page we expect you to write. Okay, so what is the meaning of character sketching? Okay, suppose we'll just park this novel aside. We'll keep this novel aside. We'll just come back to real life. Okay, so what do you talk about whenever you look at a person? Whenever you look at a person, you tend to observe him or her from top to bottom, isn't it? You'll just see how the first thing is the appearance. Okay, the first thing you see is the appearance, isn't it? How the person is appearing. Okay, then you see the dressing sense, then you see the dressing of that person. Okay, then after that, what do you observe? Think, what do you observe? you tend to observe. Suppose you happen to spend some time with that person. You observe his or her character. Okay, his character. So what are the things you'll consider when it comes to character? Is he helping natured? Is he helpful? You can see. Then you also will see the speaking. How does he or she speaks? Isn't it? Then what else do you see? Okay, you see whether he is rich, he or she is rich or poor. That also you see. Okay, suppose you happen to spend some more days with that person. Then what do you observe? Of course, when you spend some more days, you will happen to, suppose you become friends, and then you happen to go to their house also. Isn't it? So what do you see? What do you observe over there? Then you tend to observe their house also. Okay, their house and their parents. So this way, one by one, you'll start progressing. One by one, you'll just start climbing level by level, and you'll start observing so many things. Okay, after you are there with them for so many months or years, then you get to know that person almost completely. Okay, so same way, you cannot whenever you are doing this character sketching also, okay, you have to observe so many things. Okay, of course, house, parents, all these might not be there in the novel. The author might not have considered those elements to be there in the novel, but whatever available there, whatever is available in the novel, like whatever details the author has given about that character, that can be considered in order to sketch a character. Okay, so there are various things. As I said, what is the meaning of character sketching actually? I just told about what are the points you have to consider. Okay, I just spoke about generally. I just spoke about knowing about a person generally. So what is meant by a character sketch? Suppose somebody reads what you have written, then they should get a picture of that character in their mind. They should understand, yes, Margaya. Suppose you're writing about Margaya, then they'll think, yes, Margaya is such and such a person. Okay, suppose I say Margaya was sitting in, outside a bank, and he was helping people to get money from the bank, or he was helping them in the process of banking. Okay, so you'll get a picture of Margaya in your mind, isn't it? Like you can imagine that a person sitting outside the bank, he's giving the application forms to people. All these you can imagine. So those are the things you have to consider while sketching a character. So character sketching is nothing but the idea you're giving to the readers so that they will get a picture of that character in their mind. Okay, so that is the main idea behind sketching a character. Okay, so now coming to the points that have to be considered, you can take some things from the real life only. Okay, so how do you judge a person? If you keep that in mind, character sketching will be very easy for you. Okay, first thing you have to do is the physical appearance. First thing you have to do is the physical appearance. Then comes the dressing. Why is this dressing important? Let me tell you. Margaya, when he begins his career, he's a poor person. He didn't want to spend much on clothes and all. Okay, so he used to wear clothes which showed that he is very poor. Okay, but later part of the novel, he starts wearing very posh clothes. Okay, so dressing, taking this dressing, considering this dressing element for character sketching is very important, because you have to show how the character progresses as the novel continues. Okay, so what is the change in the character? So that you have to show. So dressing is very important thing you have to show. So coming to this physical appearance, you can say he was tall, or maybe he had a short hair, something like this. Okay, so that comes under physical appearance. So physical appearance, dressing. Then you can also talk about his house. Okay, because that character is those elements are there in the the novel. Okay, so you can talk about the person's house. Okay, apart from this, you can also talk about the character. Okay, character in the sense, I'm not talking about the person, but his mindset, or you can also say mindset. Okay, was he a miser, or was he a person who can spend more, or anything like that. Okay, so actually, if you're talking about Margaya, since he's one of the major characters in the novel, I'm talking more about him. Okay, so here you can see, if you're talking about the character or the mindset, you can say his major aim in his life was to earn money. So like that you can go on building the character. Writing half a page, 100 to 150 words is not at all a big deal when it comes to major characters. Okay, but minor characters, if at all you're given, you need to observe more. You need to read in between the lines. What does this in between the lines mean? Nothing. You just have to understand the subtle meaning that is there, hidden meaning that is there in few of the lines there. Okay, it's okay, not a great deal. We will be understanding all this when we understand about the summary part by part. Okay, so this was all about character sketching. Okay, so this is the list of characters in the financial expert. I'm not going to speak anything about these characters now because in the coming sessions we'll be learning about the characters. But let me just tell you, this is Margaya, this is the major character in the novel. So this Meena, it is Meenakshi, the wife of Margaya. Balu is the son, and Dr. Pal, he was responsible for the rise and fall of Margaya. Okay, he is one of the major characters in the novel who is directly connected to Margaya and Balu. Okay, so then comes Brinda, wife of Balu. Brinda is wife of Balu. Okay, then we have Arul Das, minor character. This is also a minor character. Okay, this is also minor character. Arul Das, considerably a minor character. Okay, Madan Lal, the publisher, who also contributes to the rise of Margaya. Then we have three more minor characters. So these are the three minor characters. Not much of mentioning is there in the novel about these characters. Okay, so these can be considered as minor characters. So this is a list of characters in the financial expert. Okay, so what did we understand today? We learned about character sketching, and we also learned about the elements of novels pertaining to the financial expert. Let us meet again in our next session with the session that deals with the sketching of characters of the list of characters what we saw now. Okay, so in the next session we shall be dealing with sketching of characters in the novel Financial Expert. So hope this session was very interesting. Okay, I would request you to read the whole text and then go through the each and every character. Okay, so see you soon, children. Let us meet again in our next session that's about character sketching of the financial expert. Okay, so see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.